My dear students, welcome to chemistry class. In this video, we are going to study about the preparation of oxacids of nitrogen. Preparation of oxacids of nitrogen. So today our topic is preparation of oxacids of nitrogen. There are 5 oxacids are there for nitrogen. The first one is, so first I am going to make one tabular column, the name, then formula, then oxidation state, then preparation. Okay. See the tabular column, name, formula, oxidation state and preparation. Clear? The first oxacid is hyponitrous acid. Number 1 is hyponitrous acid. The formula is H2N2O2. See here, the hyponitrous acid formula is H2N2O2. Here the oxidation state for nitrogen in hyponitrous acid is +1. Then preparation. For the preparation of this hyponitrous acid, that compounds are Ag2N2O2. So this is silver hyponitrite. The name of this compound is silver hyponitrite. Okay, silver hyponitrite. Then in addition to this compound silver hyponitrite, we are taking hydrochloric acid HCl. The product we will get is, our product is hyponitrous acid, that is H2N2O2 plus, see here hydrogen is there, so this hydrogen, then nitrogen, oxygen, so H2N2O2. Remaining, what are the substance remaining? This silver is remaining and chlorine is remaining. So these two will together combine together, it will get AgCl, silver chloride. Now balance the equation. Here 2 hydrogen, so put 2 here, so 2 HCl, then 2 Ag is here, so put 2 here. Now the equation is balanced. So hyponitrous acid, that is H2N2O2. Oxidation states for nitrogen in hyponitrous acid is +1. So the preparation is Ag2N2O2 plus HCl. This is silver hyponitrite plus hydrochloric acid together. When they react together, we are getting hyponitrous acid, that is H2N2O2 plus silver chloride AgCl. So that's all about the preparation of hyponitrous acid. Okay. Then second member, that is nitrous acid. Number 2 oxacid is nitrous acid. Nitrous acid. The formula of nitrous acid is HNO2. HNO2. Okay. Here the oxidation state is +3. See, the oxidation state, it is only for nitrogen. So you know how to calculate the oxidation state for nitrogen. Already we discussed in the previous video. I have already explained the calculation of oxidation state for nitrogen in all the compounds. So you can calculate the oxidation state of nitrogen in nitrous acid. So you will get plus 3. That compound need to prepare nitrous acids are barium nitrite, that is Ba, barium nitrite NO2. Since the barium valence is plus 2, so BaNO2 twice, plus sulfuric acid H2SO4. This is barium nitrite, barium nitrite plus sulfuric acid. We will get nitrous acid HNO2, okay, HNO2. Then remaining here, instead of barium you will get hydrogen. So this barium and this sulfate ion is remaining. So together we will get barium sulfate. Okay. Now balance the equation. When you balance the equation, here put 2 here. Now the equation is balanced. See here 2 hydrogen, 2 NO2, here 2 NO2, barium sulfate. Clear? So nitrous acid HNO2, oxidation state is plus 3. Then the compounds needed to prepare this nitrous acids are barium nitrate and sulfuric acid. We will get HNO2 and BaSO4, barium sulfate. Then next one is number 3. We will get per nitrous acid. Per nitrous acid. See here nitrous acid HNO2. I already told you, whenever the word per comes, that means addition of one more oxygen. So that means HNO3. Don't write HNO3. See here, see this HNO2. So don't write like this HNO3. That is wrong. Okay. You should write HOONO. So nitrous acid, there is HNO2. HNO2. Addition of one more oxygen we are calling per nitrous acid. Clear? The formula you should write HOONO. Don't change the formula. Don't write HNO3. HNO3 is nitric acid. Here the oxidation state of nitrogen is plus 5. You can calculate. Okay. So per nitrous acid oxidation state is plus 5. The compounds required are hydrogen peroxide H2O2 plus nitrous acid. Nitrous acid I am writing like this ONOH, that is HNO2. Okay. So we will get the product of per nitrous acid, that is ONOOH, that is HOONO. So here it is written in opposite direction. See, H comes here, the first H is there. So here H is in the last. Then you see NO. So it is in the reverse, it is written. So H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. This is hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Then this is nitrous acid. Okay. Plus the remaining substance is water, H2O. Clear? So to produce per nitrous acid, we required hydrogen peroxide and nitrous acid. Clear? Next one, number 4. The fourth member of oxacids of nitrogen is nitric acid. Nitric acid, that formula is HNO3. Okay. The formula of nitric acid is HNO3. The oxidation state for this nitric acid is plus 5. See here, nitrogen, the oxidation state is +5. Okay. Now here the preparation, in the preparation you need ammonia NH3 plus with oxygen. Here the nitric acid we are producing in 4 steps. This is step number 1. First step, NH3 plus oxygen, we will produce nitrous oxide, that is NO, plus H2O, water. Okay, this is the step number 1. In the step number 1, NH3 ammonia plus oxygen, then we are getting NO plus H2O. Balance the equation, then here put 4, then here 4, then put 5, and here 6. Now check the equation, this is balanced. In the second step, take this NO, okay, take this NO, then NO plus, again react with oxygen, we will get NO2, nitrogen dioxide, NO2. Then again this NO2 plus, sorry, it will decompose into N2O4. Sorry, it will not decompose, it will produce N2O4, nitrogen dinitrogen tetroxide. Okay, this NO2, it will produce dinitrogen tetroxide. So this is the step number 3. In step number 2, the reaction is not balanced, so add 2 here, then see the reaction still is not balanced, so put 2 here. Okay, so 2 nitrogen, 4 oxygen. Then step number 3, this NO2, we are getting N2O4, balance this equation, 2 NO2 produce N2O4, dinitrogen tetroxide. Then this dinitrogen tetroxide, that is N2O4, this dinitrogen tetroxide N2O4 react with water H2O, then plus oxygen, we will get nitric acid HNO3. Okay, this is step number 4. Dinitrogen tetroxide plus water plus oxygen, we are getting nitric acid. Clear? Now balance the equation, put 2 here, then 2 moles of water, then oxygen, no need to balance, so we will get 4 HNO3. Clear? So to produce this nitric acid, we need 4 steps reactions. In the first step, NH3 ammonia reacts with oxygen, we will get NO and H2O. In the second step, the NO react with O2, we will get NO2. This NO2, it will produce N2O4. This N2O4, it will react with H2O plus oxygen. Then finally, the product is HNO3, that is nitric acid. Check the reaction is balanced or not. If not balanced, so try to balance it. Okay. Next one is pernitric acid. Next one is pernitric acid. So pernitric acid, number 5, remember is pernitric acid. The formula is HN. Nitric acid, what is the formula? HNO3. I already told you, per means one more oxygen will be coming, that is HNO4. Okay. So here the oxidation state for this nitrogen, that is +7. So in the pernitric acid, the oxidation state of nitrogen is +7. Here the reactants are hydrogen peroxide H2O2 plus nitrogen pentoxide N2O5. So hydrogen peroxide, then nitrogen pentoxide N2O5, we will get pernitric acid. Pernitric acid, we are writing NO2OOH plus nitric acid HNO3. These are the HNO3 is the byproduct and NO2 OOH, that is HNO4. So you can write this way also, HNO4 also correct. So this way also you can write. So H2O2, that is hydrogen peroxide, plus N2O5 nitrogen pentoxide, we are getting NO2 OOH, that is HNO4, that is pernitric acid. Then the byproduct is HNO3. Okay. So that's all about the preparation of oxacids of nitrogen. Clear? So there are 5 members are there. One is hyponitrous acid, nitrous acid, then pernitrous acid, nitric acid, then pernitric acid. So these are the formula and these are the oxidation states. Okay. Then preparation. So each and every one is well explained. Okay, students. So next we will see about the allotropic forms of phosphorus. So my dear students, now we are going to discuss about the allotropic forms of phosphorus. Allotropic forms of phosphorus. Okay. See, in the last, I think in the topic of that is carbon, we have studied about allotropes of carbon. So what is the meaning of allotropes? Allotrope, it means allotropes. So allotrope means an element, it can exist in different forms. Exist in different forms. Okay. So an atom exists in different forms is called allotropes. For example, carbon, we studied about a diamond, then graphite and fullerene. Like that, we have studied many allotropes for carbon. So here for phosphorus, three major allotropes are there. One is white phosphorus, then red phosphorus, third one is black phosphorus. Okay. So white, red and black, these are the three most common allotropes for phosphorus. Okay. See, first one is white phosphorus. In our state board syllabus, you no need to study about this black phosphorus. We have to learn about white and red. Okay. But for your knowledge, you can learn for this black also. But here we are going to discuss about white and red phosphorus. So first one is white phosphorus. See, white phosphorus, it is colorless. Okay. Then it become pale yellow. See, actually white phosphorus is the colorless, that means it's a white color. Then it becomes pale yellow after some times, not after some time, after long times. Okay. So why this pale yellow color is formed? Because that white phosphorus, slowly it will be converted into red phosphorus. So during the formation of red phosphorus, it will be converted into pale yellow color. Okay. So that it is also called yellow phosphorus. Pale yellow color due to the formation of layer of red phosphorus. Layer of red phosphorus. Okay. So it is also called yellow phosphorus. Clear? So white phosphorus is colorless. it will slowly turn into pale yellow color on long standing due to the formation of layer of red phosphorus. Hence it is called yellow phosphorus. And this white phosphorus is poisonous. Poisonous in nature. Okay. And that smell is garlic smell. Garlic smell. So it is poisonous. White phosphorus is poisonous and it shows the characteristics of garlic smell. Okay. Then it glows in the dark, means it glows in the dark. Due to the oxidation, and it is called phosphorescence, which is called phosphorescence. And that ignition temperature means that that temperature required to catch fire, that is called ignition temperature, is very low. Ignition temperature is very low. So it undergoes spontaneous combustion. In air at room temperature to give phosphorus pentoxide, okay, P2O5. See, that ignition temperature, it needs only very low temperature to catch fire, so that you no need to make it fire. So at room temperature, if you keep for some time that phosphorus, it automatically catches fire, so that it is called spontaneous combustion without any help. So that is called spontaneous combustion in air at room temperature. It will produce phosphorus pentoxide. Okay. Then that structure of white phosphorus. Now you are going to study about structure of white phosphorus. That white phosphorus structure is, there are 4 phosphorus atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And that bonds between each phosphorus atom okay. So this is phosphorus. So there are 4 phosphorus atoms. It has tetrahedral structure. See here, that bonds between this phosphorus, here one bond, this phosphorus one bond, and here one bond, here one bond. Okay. So this is the structure of phosphorus, white phosphorus. So that's all about white phosphorus. Now red phosphorus. Red phosphorus. So red phosphorus can be prepared from white phosphorus. So the white phosphorus can be white phosphorus can be converted to red phosphorus by heating that white phosphorus around 420 degrees Celsius. So that white phosphorus can be heated to 420 degrees Celsius in the absence of air and light. Okay, so that white phosphorus can be converted into red phosphorus. How? That white phosphorus has to heat up to 420 degrees Celsius in the absence of air and light. Okay, then it is not poisonous. Red phosphorus, it is not poisonous. Okay, then does not show phosphorescence. Okay, see, with that white phosphorus, it glows in the dark due to the oxidation, which is called phosphorescence. But red phosphorus, it will not show like white phosphorus, that is phosphorescence. Okay, then it does not ignite at low temperatures. Does not ignite at low temperatures. See, these are the differences between white phosphorus and red phosphorus. Okay, that red phosphorus can be converted to, see, that red phosphorus also, that is converted to white phosphorus, red phosphorus to white phosphorus. How? That by boiling this red phosphorus, so you have to boil this, boiling of red phosphorus in an inert atmosphere, that is in an inert atmosphere, okay. So this white phosphorus, you can get it from this red phosphorus by boiling of this red phosphorus in an inert atmosphere and condensing that vapor under water. Condensing the vapor under water. Okay, so that's all about the red phosphorus. That white phosphorus can be converted to red phosphorus by heating that white phosphorus around 420 degrees Celsius in the absence of air and light. This red phosphorus, it is not poisonous. Red phosphorus does not show this phosphorescence like white phosphorus. Also, unlike this white phosphorus, red phosphorus does not ignite at low temperatures. So you have to apply some heat. So then only it can catch fire. It will not it will not show any spontaneous combustions. Then the red phosphorus also can be converted to white phosphorus by boiling this red phosphorus in an inert atmosphere. Then that vapor you have to condense under water. Okay, so these are the main differences between red phosphorus and white phosphorus. Now we will study the structure of red phosphorus. Actually, that red phosphorus have polymeric structure. So polymeric structure. So polymeric means more than one chain. See here. See here that one bond is between this phosphorus and this phosphorus. Okay, this bond will be broken, then it will form a chain. So this bond, it will be making a bond between another structure. So these all are phosphorus, 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 then here one chain, okay, then here. So this bond is removed and make a bond between another link. Okay, this is called polymeric structure of red phosphorus. There are 4 phosphorus atom make a polymeric structures. Okay. Then this red phosphorus, it acts as the semiconductor, then like nitrogen. So nitrogen has triple bond, so unlike nitrogen, phosphorus, it will also form triple bond, but it is least stable. So is less stable than phosphorus to phosphorus single bond. Okay, so this is more stable than this p triple bond p. So p triple bond b is very less stable, so it cannot stand for long time. So that phosphorus atom are linked through single bonds rather than triple bond. So phosphorus atoms, are linked through single bond, rather than triple bonds. Okay, so this structure is less stable than this structure. So always it exists in p single bond p. Okay, so in addition to this above allotropes, also 2 more allotropes are there. One is scarlet, phosphorus, another one is violet phosphorus. Another one is violet phosphorus. So these are 2 more allotropes. Okay, actually this white, red and black, they are most common allotropes. This scarlet and violet phosphorus also allotropes, but it is not very common. Okay, so that's all about allotropes of phosphorus. Hope you understood today's lesson. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you very much.